Well, girls and guys, welcome back to the channel. We have got a Ford Kuga. This is in for a turbo. It failed in a massive, spectacular fashion. Also had run on as well, or it ran on its own oil. That's what happens when the turbo fails and it pumps all the engine oil into the inlet system, fills up the intercooler. Well, not fill it up, it goes through the intercooler and into the engine and then refuses to turn off even when you turn it off. And then you've got to stall it as quick as physically possible in a high gear and hope that you haven't blown the engine to bits. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm hoping the engine hasn't failed. So we are going to replace the turbo. Let's get to it. Remember to change your intercooler oil, people. Lovely. All right, girls and guys, so we've already removed some of the boost pipe. Removed the one coming off the compressor, which runs around here to the intercooler. Intercooler's there, boost pipes are there, and obviously this intercooler pipe is just chilling in the wind here. There was a significant amount of oil in, as you've already seen. So now we're gonna remove the exhaust off it, hope that the impeller's still in there. If it's not, then we've got to try and find it. And just slowly start removing it. From what I can see, that is the oil feed pipe, which should be nice because I can just remove it from there. And I'm sure that goes up to the top of the turbo. And then we'll remove the Allen keys from the bottom of the turbo. And I believe the turbo is bolted to the manifold. It's not an all-in-one jobby. At the moment, I think that. We'll find out soon. So yeah, slowly does it. I can see the drive shaft coming out. And I can see this being a bit of a pain job. But, you know, we get to do these things. I get the fun stuff. Right, so turbo's here now. So we've removed this bracket, which is 4 5mm Allen keys, 1 13mm up there, and that's out of the way. The exhaust needs to come out of the way. So take it from the mount and the bracket and drop that to the side. Remove this electrical connector here and the vacuum pipe. That vacuum pipe goes up to this pipe here, which is held on by 2 8mm going onto the inlet. You can't really see them, but they're up there somewhere. So one's out, I need to get the other one out. But I need to get that whole pipe out of the way, so the car's gonna have to come down again for me to get there. So I'm gonna continue with removing the exhaust and the intake pipes and just leave the bare unit there. The oil return, you can see one Allen key, but the other Allen key is right up the back here. So I'm probably gonna take it off there and then manipulate the pipe out and then fit it with the pipe on. Probably, we'll find out. So gonna remove the DPF and the induction. Hopefully I'll start seeing a little bit more clarity on where things need to come out. I've left the intercooler draining over the weekend and surprisingly more oil come out, which we're not gonna be shocked at. So yeah, let's keep going. I'm definitely expecting part of the turbo to be in the exhaust at this point. Right, so I've got that bolt off there. That's exhaust turbo to manifold bolt 1. And number 2 is in process, but the way I've got to do it is got to feed your arm in around, and I'm using a flexible ratchet spanner, which I can't find now. There it is. Yeah, and just working it from that side. Now, the third bolt at the top, which I thought was going to be the easiest one, as we already can tell from the way that I'm doing this video, is not going to be the easiest one. I think that started to round, which is going to be good. But luckily that one goes into the turbo, so if I need to, I can cut it off. So for now, 75% with this one coming off, so happy days. So I just need to get round to the one at the top up there, which is going to be a nightmare. So I'll continue getting this off and we'll go from there. Right, so 2 out of 3 are off. There is the third one. As we can see, I've already given it a little bit of a go. I'm gonna stick some heat on it because it's starting to feel a little bit round, we shall say. After that, I've got them all off and then turbo should be out and then we can start fitting a new one. We're also doing oil and filter on this as well, but it looks like some nice person has already, that's not something, there it is, already used a chisel to take that off. I don't know why, for the sake of a couple of quid, just replace the sump nut. So let's get to difficult number 3. And there we have it. Turbo is out. Didn't need to remove the drive shaft. It does come through. And she's on the floor. Still need to remove the oil feed and return pipe off the old unit. New unit ready to go on with a new fitting kit. So I won't waste any more time. We'll get that bad boy on. Okay, so we've put the return on here. Put the feed in there, focus. They've got 2 Dowie washers. Now the 3 Allen keys there and the 13 on the mount. Now just got to connect the exhaust inlet and the intercooler pipes and the 2 8mm bolts that go up there. And then put the airbox back in. So I took the airbox off for no apparent reason. Obviously all the bolts are done up on the turbo to manifold, and we're getting there. So we have changed the oil filter. We're about to change the oil while we're here. So what I'm gonna do is disconnect the injectors now so I don't forget. They need a little pick because they seem like they're not coming off. So we disconnect all of them. I've put the battery on charge because the battery went flat. So yeah, we're gonna get ready to do it. First thing, we're gonna drop the oil first. Then with them disconnected, crank it over a few times. Hope to God it doesn't start because of the oil in there. Didn't think that one through. But yeah, hope it doesn't start. Then once we've primed it, check the oil a little bit more and then get ready to do the initial start and hope to God. What I've done is I've taken the airbox off so I can put a tissue over it, or a cloth, sorry, not a tissue. Don't use tissue, use a cloth to snorkel it in case I need to cut the engine. So a lot going on here. Well, I had to take that off of a chisel because someone already had. How much do you reckon is gonna come out? I'm not holding hope for a lot. Let's find out. Oh wow, missed that completely. More than I anticipated. All right, new sump plug. That was a whole couple of quid's worth of hassle for no reason. Just replace them, standard practice. Now, this cover's back on. Gonna put the end tray in, whack in the 40 million torque screws, and then put the oil in and, well, get ready to start it up, I guess. All right, filled it up with some oil. We've gone with a Mobil 1 oil. So everything's done. Now then connect the battery. Injectors are disconnected. Time to get some cranking. Okay, so we are cranking for oil pressure. Yeah, so far it hasn't tried to start, which is always a bonus in this type of situation. We've got a little flicker. Must be getting oil pressure up there now. The battery's dying, which is good, which means there's less chance to start. So injectors are back on. I put the battery back on charge just because the voltage is getting low. Now I have the emergency. It's gone horrendously wrong. If it does start to run on and doesn't control itself, I've got to jump out, block the pipe as best I can and starve it of oxygen. We shouldn't need this. Fingers crossed we don't need this. Here we go. Oh. No luck. It turns out the battery is indeed a little bit too flat for this. I think it's only at like 11 volts, 11.5. So I'm gonna leave this to charge, nice condition charge, even though it is a new battery, it is taking far too long to start. But what I am gonna do for safety and my lungs is in the morning, when this is all done, fully charged, I'm gonna push it outside and start it up out there, where if I need to, I can stall it, so on and so forth. So, to be continued in the morning. Well, I got in it, didn't get a chance to record, but I've moved it closer to the exit in case of an emergency. And after a few cranks, it started. We're not out of the woods yet. It's getting up to temperature, and it is starting to smoke the remnants of the oil out of the exhaust, which we couldn't get out of there. But of course, I'm staying in the car, because I don't want a failure. Well, taking it for a nice road test. There's no more smoke coming out the back, which is good. So this one is done.